Hi. Right, in the practice of country lanes in rural England, I'm doing a bit of a Kent scene here, just a simple, very simple oast house. Oast houses were where the hops were dried, air dried. I don't know if they ever had any heat in them, probably not. We used to hang the hops inside the chimney shape here, this cone. But it's all done in, I would imagine, electric kilns now, kiln dried. But this is what they used to do in the old days. But there are still many of these buildings about in the UK or England, but are now mostly nice holiday homes, dwelling places, very, very exclusive, very lovely. Same as windmills mainly. If any that are left now are mostly dwelling places, lighthouses, Napoleonic towers, gun turrets. They're all have all been converted into desirable resis. So I'll put a figure in, some trees, bit of distance, the Kent Hills, and just a bit of landscape here. Largely based on an idea from Roland Hilder, who's one of my all-time favourite painters, who painted numerous oast house type trees, but a wonderful watercolour painter. Sadly, he's no longer with us. I think he died in the 90s. He used to produce a calendar every year of his gorgeous paintings, master at line and wash. Used a lot of black ink, black paint, black watercolour paint, usually modified with burnt sienna or something like that. And there are several books that he produced demonstrating his methods. But I do my own thing with them, so here we go. I'll wet the paper all over with my truncated brush here. Seems to be reasonably well behaved. It's a 2-inch 1 Ranson hake. They're not expensive. They do wonderful things, but they also split, and you have to bring them back together again. Oh, I better get my paints out, haven't I? So, colours: lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey, and burnt sienna. I'll use burnt sienna, a bit of red in this tiled roof here. I'll just get that nice and now. I'm going to change the angle of this. I don't want it quite so steep. Well, it's not steep. It's about less than 30 degrees. Let's just pull that round a little bit. Okay, so I'll put a bit of a blush of raw sienna. Now, the theme lately has been autumn. So I'll put a bit of sienna in the sky as well. Just go all over it with a bit of, put a little roadway here. And the weather at the moment is stormy. The weather's changing now. So I'm going to mix some Payne's grey with the burnt sienna from my sky, my clouds. So a bit darker. And just a bit of an overhead cloud. Put a bit of red in there. Just a touch. Okay, that's all I really want to do on that. I'm going to give that a bit of a dry now. So take your headphones off. If I had a mute button on my camera, I would press it, but I don't know where it is. might make this sort of a triple tone type of painting. Just the burnt sienna, raw sienna and the grey. Right, okay, well let's put a bit of a background of that over the over the hills here. Bit of sienna in there. Just paint around the host house. Okay. Right, okay. We'll put in some nice sienna across here. Like a bit dark in here. And then right, now I'll use a bit of grey for the path. Okay. Right, that's looking interesting. Let's put a bit of texture in now. See that burnt sienna with the other colours gives this lovely. Lovely texture, colours, contrast. Just refit this. And then we can put in the just dry that off. Now what I might do is just put a bit of dry brush over here, but okay, bit of a down there. I'm going to use my large sable brush to do the trees. Now we want autumny colours, so a bit of grey, bit of brown. I need to get a bit of water so the bristles stay together. Whoops. I tended to do the trees yesterday a bit symmetrical. Yeah, so I'm not used to using this sable brush. It's a beautiful brush. What did I pay for it? £24, £25? Now we're a bit darker. in the shadow area, that's a bit dark. I could have painting around the roof of that building. Okay, that. Right, something like that. And then one over here, but that's a bit damp there at the moment, so let's get in with the one on the other side. So just trees coming up here. Now a bit of green, I think, a bit of sienna, and a bit of grey. Sort of a greeny colour. And I'll put in some I know some of you will be pleased that I'm using this brush. So we just put some just over the hill there. That would have been like me really. Down the hill. Maybe I'll come up a little bit higher on that. Let's go over the top of that hill. Okay. Get some nice hard stuff in here. Just a bit of texture. I do mean to practice with this lovely brush. £25 it costs, and it's a number 14 sable. Artist Valley, top quality Kolinsky sable. Okay, so we've got to do some texturing in here. I've got the other sable here. It's a real departure, this, isn't it? So they're both coming to a lovely point. So I might use the number 8 sable for this finer stuff. Right now, because I flattened the board, well, flatter than usual, I'm going to, now the light is coming from here, so that's going to be the light side. So what I'm going to do is flatten it even more. I hope you can see that, right, yeah. And I'm going to just use a bit of clear water, not too much, just wet one side, or wet it all over, and go in with the darker red and the black, well, the Payne's grey. Get some nice sienna in there now, burnt sienna. And then a bit of clean water and just drag that over. Bit darker on the other side, on the left hand side. So if I'm masking you. Okay, well I'm trying to get, because I've got the board at this angle and fixed into the easel. If I was working for myself, I would tilt the board that way so that would run across a bit, bleed out a little bit more than it has. Anyway, we'll let that go for a minute. I can even Just go a little bit more sienna in there, darker. Okay, now I'm going to put a nice red across here. When you paint these things, try to get a little bit of a crooked edge, because this is very old, so we want to give an impression of it, a bit undulated there, and then nice red. Along here. Right, and a bit down here. Right, let's just put a bit of red around the top of the host. It's just a little bit. Okay, we can put a little bit of a few dots in. Okay. Now I'm going to put a slight grey on here. And just a bit darker on the side. And then in here. And a bit of thick dark to give the impression that this is a wooden, painted wood. Okay, let's just touch a bit dark in there. Put a bit of red in there. I'll put the detail in a minute when that dries. I want that just a bit further over there. Right, let's put in a bit of ivy. I'll have to do some of this with the ruler, I think. Trouble what I have when I put figures in sometimes is that they're too small for the background. They start off small, and by the time you put them actually where they would be if they were walking, so that perspectively they would be much smaller. They'd be like the size of ants. Right, I just want to put let's put a bit of just a brush there. I'll put a bit of dark in there. Okay. Okay, Okay, well that's all right. We'll put a bit of dark in here. See, I'm using the tip as well as the side of the brush. A bit of hard there, and a bit of the old ivy. Get some nice warmer colours in there. Just some sort of a hedge coming down here. Okay, but just a bit of the same the other side. Just a bit of don't want to over elaborate this foreground here. Just some grasses, look. And I want a bit more dark in here. Right, I'll just put a bit of this dry brush on the top here now. See what, this is working out better than 8, isn't it? Okay, let's clean the brush and get the rigger, and we'll go into some detail now. Bit of just a bit of shadow underneath that roof there. Nice bit of dark in that corner there. Okay. Right, now, got to be careful I don't touch the wet bit, so let's just come up here with, oh, Amy join us. I do get asked if I ever sell these, or usually when I say the price, people sort of lose interest, or they're just trolling to find out. But my basic charge for them, although I do prefer people to see them in the flesh, is £40 for the watercolour demos. As you can imagine, this costs a lot of money in material. And that does not include postage and package. Well, it includes the package and PayPal charge, but the postage is about £4 UK side plus international postage, so it makes them about £50 by the time they actually arrive. So, give you some idea of what I want. I'm not going to sell them cheap because people have paid that sort of money for them, and you can't really sell them cheaper than, otherwise it just makes their investment. Well, it's not ethical, is it? We'll have a couple. Well, one further down the hill. So we'll put this one. So now you know. Just take a little bit of a scrape out of some of this. I don't do this for money. I do this because it's my interest. Pretty obvious really, but right, let's just put in just some grey now. Just coming down, just coming down the hill. Telling you to keep your fingers out of the paint, but I'm just putting mine in. Right, I reckon that's about enough for that. We want a bit in here. Just some touches of these, they're down the hill. And we'll go and detail that now. Let's put in the light grey ones first. Give the distance. It's a little bit darker than that. So you've got creating a bit of perspective here. Some in front, some behind. And then we're warmer colours here, like this. There's plenty of water. The riggers don't hold a lot of water. just want to put some in here in the tips here, in the, like in the canopy. Okay, so we'll put the figure in now and we'll think about a bit more detail in some of this here. See, don't forget the edge of your brush. I'm not using the tip here. I'm just using, same as when I do the drawings. I want this tree to come. No, he's all right there. There's a bit of rough stuff on there. Right, let's do the figure. I'll use a small brush for a figure. Let's put a reddish coat on. Darken one side of that. A shadow. Oops, I'm trying to do a walking stick there. Right, a bit of a shadow. And a shadow here. Right, that's about it really. I'll sign it and then we'll put it in the ivory mount. Another Kent bird. I put them sometimes by the trees because they've got their little nest, so let's just, so we can put some nests in, can't we? Crow's nests high in the trees. Okay, that's about it really. I'll change the angle of it so we can see a bit better. Let's put this, let's just take these off. Alright, let's just come out of that. Put this on the clip. Wow, I think that's quite nice actually. It's done fairly quickly. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's zoom in and we'll have a look at the buildings there. Very loosely painted, very rusticy, tumbly. My oak trees, or my trees with lots of ivy on. 3 colours. Lovely earth colours. Oh, got a pigeon on the roof, or a crow. Probably trying to get into the nest that I've just painted. So, I think with foregrounds, do them quickly as I do, then you get them out of the way. I know a lot of people struggle with foregrounds, how much detail. Because it's close, you tend to think you must put a lot of detail in. But we're looking out here, we're looking down the road, or the path. So this is where your interest is, not down here. I've just put a bit of a support for the rest of the painting. Your brain will, hopefully, will put in all the gaps. If you want to add even more detail, you can put broken fences in and other figures. But for the sake of the demonstration, I want to be able to finish it in one go. So there we are. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.